And we're back.
We're back.
Again, hello.
Hello, mate. Episode 81.
It is,
Yes,
81,
and
correct.
we confirmed that. We got it right this time.
Well, we've confirmed it.
Yeah, we have.
Whether he's confirmed it's a different story.
Okay, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
How are you, man? You
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, good, man. Thank you. I'm on countdown holiday.
Yes, I know you are. I've just come back from mine.
Yes.
Yes. And it was worth it. It was good.
Mate, you
It was
need
good.
it.
A proper bit of, I needed that TLC, and I think it was so important just to go out and do jack shit. I did do a couple of days of work, which I have to do because obviously it's self-employed, isn't it?
See, I haven't got to do that. I can't do that where I am.
You're not allowed.
No.
No. I have no choice.
But I have to look after 2 kids while I'm away, so...
That's also true. That's a job in itself.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, holiday was great. So you're off to where?
I'm now going to Cyprus. We'll come back to that later as a love spud.
Okay.
Yeah, Cyprus, Saturday.
Saturday.
Birthday
Birmingham?
Friday. No Gatwick.
Oh, shit, innit?
Yeah.
That's a small price to pay.
Yeah. Birthday Friday, fly out on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, birthday? Of course.
Yeah, and it's yours this week.
It was, mine was on, what day were we on? It's Saturday.
Saturday,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
on Saturday, 25th. Good day, actually, because I landed on Friday. It's great to see the family. It's weird because, like, you know when you have time away from family, you just think, okay, I don't want to see or hear you for a week.
Yeah.
And I've completely missed my mum and dad, like mad. And I was like, I almost got to a point where I was like, I'm going to take a flight home early because I was worried about them. That's really freaky for me. But they were completely fine because my sister was looking after them, so they weren't alone. But I came back and the house was rammed. Friday, house was rammed on Saturday and Sunday. All the family were over. It was really nice.
I saw the birthday cake pictures. I noticed you haven't brought any birthday cake with you.
No, because I ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fat
that was
bastard.
the whole purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I eat really clean now, so that was I got support.
Treat
it was
day.
a good cake. Yeah, it was really good
It
cake.
looked good cake.
Yeah. It was like almost like it was eggless for one.
Yeah.
And you would never be able
Cake,
to tell.
cake box cake.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one. Coconut on the outside. It was like a mix of Raffaello / Kinder Bueno. Fucking amazing. I don't do cake very much. I don't do sweet stuff.
See, we have to have cake box because I'm allergic to egg as well. So
Of course.
we have to have cake box eggs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, very
They're
good.
decent. There's
Yeah.
another one called Cake Inn. I don't know if you tried that. They're just as good, if
Okay.
not better sometimes. We're not sponsored, so we can say
We can say what we want.
Yeah,
Other cakes are available.
There are. But we've got a guest in today.
We have, again, another
have.
guest.
We have.
We're blessed again. This is one of yours again.
It
so
is.
well done, mate.
I met this guy randomly. I'll tell you about that in a sec. But Egan, nice to meet you, mate.
Pleased to be
Again.
here. Hi.
How are you?
Again.
Really happy to be here in Coventry. Congratulations, Coventry FC. For,
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm a Spurs supporter, so I'm keeping my mouth shut right now.
okay.
Who knows what's
One
going to
up,
happen.
one down. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Also, home of Scar, so two-tone,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and home of Gus Khan as well.
That's
It
right.
is, yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
very
love
happy to be
Gus
here.
Khan.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Gus Khan.
Yeah.
So how you been anyway?
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good, thank you.
So we met on a whim, didn't we?
Yeah.
Real off chance. Don't know how it happened, but it did. So we've got a mutual friend, and she was telling me about Egan and how interesting he is. And we met because I thought it was perfect for you to come on this podcast and actually talk about quite a lot of stuff, which we'll go into in a sec. But that was like a real nice thing to do, and we connected really well.
Really well.
And I think we could have spoken for hours that day, but I think we were limited. I can't remember why.
Parking. Because you
That's
came
it,
to
yeah.
Leamington.
Fucking
and,
I ain't paying
only had
more.
so much.
Nah, man.
I ain't paying more. That's the Indian in me. But I am definitely not paying more. But yeah, we had to shoot off. But that was actually a real nice blessing. But I got to learn a lot about you, and I tell you what, I was absolutely I was invested in the conversation. So we spoke about your military life, your health, and how you've gone from obviously throughout your whole entire journey. So, but I want to talk about something. Start off with, you showed me, or I saw, something called rope flow, and how it can potentially help mental health. So should we just jump into that first and
Yeah, no problem.
fill us in about that?
Obviously, right now, the space in the room can't actually get the rope out to do. But
Yeah, you can blame
literally,
Taylor for that.
It is
Selfish
just-
Taylor.
Yeah,
piece of rope. There are different thicknesses, different sizes for different speed. You can use it for technically strength work,
Yeah.
not like the battle ropes
that's
that you
ropes,
see.
yeah.
Very, very different to that. But how I saw the way the rope could work with flow connected to mental health, one end and the other end. So the first end is it's a beautiful piece of kit. It's nothing new, I'm sure somewhere in some cave somewhere, there's a caveman
There's a
drawing of
reminiscence
someone
with the
doing.
rope, yeah.
So it's nothing new, but it's something that has become quite interestingly popular now. And the two ways I see it, the two ends I see it, again, connected to the mental health side of it. When you first learn, you're going to hit yourself. You're going to get, my right hand's doing this, my left hand's doing that. You really have to be focused and concentrated and in the moment.
Right.
So connected to the mental health side, for some people we know there could be like a ruler at one end, other end, in the middle. But at one end, for people who really need to get away from their issue right now and just focus on the exact now. Yeah. So there's that part to it, and it's really nice. Some of the simple movements in it are quite complicated, but it's fun to see when people do it, because you can get a room full of people, different skill levels, different ages. This is another part to it. Your 5-year-old can do it, and your 85-year-old can do it. So you would have one person picks up one move really easy.
Yeah.
So they're clapping away, cheering away. You got the person next to them, can't even pick it up. Simple move, just moving it this way to this way. The next move is really interesting, because that person that could do the first move can't, and the other person who couldn't do it now could do it. So you have that connection of being in the here and now. The other end to it, which I really love, when I first picked it up, instantly I thought, and you guys have been talking about holiday, I thought of Ibiza.
Okay.
And Cafe Mambo, sunset, when you see the people with the poi, with the flame, they're throwing that's that.
It's that.
So you can get into the flow side of it. So again, you can not be in the problem. You can just float yourself away, escape, either music or not music, and just go with the flow. It's a wonderful thing. I feel, many might argue, but once you get hold of the rope, you can kind of see the two.
Can I see the rope?
Yeah.
So this is quite interesting, because I watched a few videos of this, and I can see.
I haven't sent you my.
No, you haven't.
Video. I've got a 30-second video. It's to music. It shows my flavour in music. But
we can whack that on our socials as well.
Yeah. Just goes. You can kind of see how one connects to the neck, to the other, to the other.
Because you can do it in different weights, if I'm right, yeah? Because
Yep.
I've seen some that actually have like different kg type weights. And
Yes.
obviously a bit more challenging.
A little bit more challenging. Now, everybody has their own preference. The lighter rope really moves fast. You actually get more hits on yourself on the lighter rope because of the speed that it goes, and it kind of stings a bit.
Yeah,
the heavier rope, again, you can get that idea of the feel of it, the heaviness to it. You can feel like it's a workout as well. And that's one of the beauties of it. So I often carry around 3, 4, 5 different weights, sizes, rope. So then I could still do the same movement, but it actually becomes a totally different movement with the weight of the rope.
With a different weight of the rope, yeah.
So you have that, but you've seen the size of it. You can put that in your pocket.
Yeah, like you say,
there is
like in your rucksack and take it out
rucksack,
with you.
put it in your pocket. It can go anywhere with you. The only places I've sort of had strange looks, carry on a plane. So instead of going through that, put it in the hole.
Rope in there, man.
Yeah, put it in the hole. Don't have to explain anything. But that idea of almost anybody can use it.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of skill, of course, with everything. If you can get someone to show you a few moves and then you build on those moves, it's fantastic. But bringing it back to the mental health side to it, that way you can just take all your problems away just by doing something as stupidly simple as this. That's why I love it.
I like the idea of it, because like you say, if you're having a moment or you're struggling at a particular time, you've got that in your bag with you. You can just take yourself off and just have your 10, 15 minutes with it, and
You don't need long. Where I live, lovely house, but we've got a really, really small garden.
Yeah.
Really small garden. But I can still, first thing in the morning, go into the back, throw that around myself, get other bits of equipment. But you do not also need a lot of space.
Yeah.
The only thing, obviously, you need to worry about, your mum's furniture or
light bulbs,
and all the rest of it. But other than that, there are so few limitations to it as well.
Yeah.
You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to go somewhere specifically. Again, exactly like you've just said, in the moment, I need to reach for it. I need to take my almost that fag break.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a cool idea.
So we obviously you had your little bag of tricks earlier on when you came.
Always come prepared.
You seriously have. Seriously have. So I want to know how you got into rope flow. What made you want to go into it? Because I know you obviously you're very healthy. You're into sports, and you also were at the Olympics, if I'm not, or training for the Olympics back in the day. So I'm going to go back.
You kept that bit quiet, didn't you?
Yeah, I like the element of surprise. So I want to go back a little bit because we've spoke about this, but I'd love for our listeners to understand what you went through in that time, because I know you had a bit of a challenge, didn't you? So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I texted you yesterday to say I was smiling. I was in the back garden and just, chatting to myself, as I often do, about how the conversation today would go. And I was laughing because I went off on that tangent, this
That's going to happen.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
So I was really looking forward to that. And in answering your question there, it sort of goes back a little bit before the Olympics side of it. I don't want us to sit here for 3 hours and have my biography, but the beginning bit does kind of make sense.
Sure.
So my parents both came from the Caribbean. My father was, in later life, he was a judge, but he was an athlete as a young kid. So he's a brilliant footballer, sprinter, polo player, water polo, and cricket. So he all-rounder. Mum, very healthy. So I got the genes of a healthy family. But also I've read this, how true this is. You can forgive me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people would connect. A lot of top sports people technically come from the Caribbean because of those who survived the slave trade.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the genetics. The genetics of the strongest survive sort of thing.
Yep.
So there is a little bit of that. So I didn't come on this earth without some help along the way. But I found I was actually quite good at running. I was very good at football. I was good at rugby. I had a passion for martial arts. Though there were very few sports that I couldn't do, that I wasn't interested in.
Yeah.
But come a certain age, I really knuckled down to a few sports. Athletics, rugby, football. Athletics was always going to be my thing. If you'd have asked me back in the day when I was 14, 15, 16, there used to be this monthly magazine, Athletics Monthly, I think it was. It's 1980s. Forgive me. Yeah, it's a few years ago now.
It's been a minute.
And I used to read that religiously, and I could tell you all the times everybody had done to win either the Olympics or that week's event, track meet somewhere. And I could tell you, I was
like Rain Man of
it, but also to kind of push myself. And I was getting to the stage where I had been county champion. I was champion in so you do like Southern District, Northern District. So that like the Yorkshires, Lancashires, or the Middlesexes, Devons, Cornwalls, that sort of thing. So I was winning all of those, and I got this stupid injury as a young kid. I didn't know what to do. So I was preparing to train, and I was training for the 84 Olympics.
Okay.
Of course, I don't know that I would have got through, but I was good enough to be able to win enough that I would go up against the top people to see if I could actually make it. 1 to 2 years before that Olympics, I had this injury in my hip. And basically what that meant was I could still run. I could still turn. I could still do everything. But I couldn't place my foot down on the floor hard enough to propel off.
Right, okay.
So I lost a whole load of speed. And almost when I did get up to a certain pace, there'd be a lot of pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that pain and the loss of speed, I wasn't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So that was it meant everything to me to get to the Olympics.
Right.
Whether I won it didn't matter. Just to get
to
to
be there.
the Olympics. That dream
Gone.
What do? Well, I'm good at football, but not as good as I am at rugby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see this is good. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right, rugby, brilliant, doing really well. Make county, play in all these different things. Yeah, I'm going somewhere. 2 stupid injuries. I broke my hand, and the first game back after breaking my hand, I went to tackle somebody, and their boot, so the stud of their boot, caught my lip.
Wow.
Split my lip, blood everywhere. Lucky I was near Stoke Mandeville, I think, where it was the head of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Luckily, that person was there because my lip, so it's a top lip, looked like, if you can imagine, Predator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how
Yeah.
the mouth, it looked like that. So it was like a triangle shape here. So that had opened up and this had flopped down.
Wow.
So they sewed all that back together. You really can't see it unless I say and you look like that. So it didn't end my rugby career because I carried on playing, but that was one of those I went, I've got to really seriously rethink this.
Yeah.
Also, you've got to understand, it was the 1980s and I was a stupid young kid. Stupid young kid because the 2 sports I loved, back in the 80s, you could make no money.
Yeah.
There was no money in rugby. There was no money in athletics. And those were the things I wanted to really do and have my life based on that. So a number of things happened, but one of the choices I had was the military.
Yeah. Now it gets interesting.
Yes. So I knew I needed to do something that was good. And please, anybody who's in the military, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say, please do not take offense. But I knew I had to be in the best. The best being not so much. So obviously, if I had the brains to be a pilot, I'd be a pilot.
Yeah.
I don't have the brains to be a pilot. Yeah. So I'm going to have to do something that I'm crawling around on my belly. And if I'm going to do that, then it's either going to be the parachute regiment or the Marines. My wife might listen to this, but she sort of knows the story.
Uh-oh.
I was dating somebody who had actually been in the Wrens, so the Women's Navy. She was a lot older than me, but that's kind of by the by. At the time, I was saying to her, look, I've got to do something. The weird thing was also 1980s. I was actually working on the door in a pub that was supposed to be for 21-year-olds. At 19, I was on the door telling people whether they should come.
You're not old enough, mate. You're not coming in. Yeah.
So, again, 1980s. Anyway, this woman, she's also working there. And I say to her, I've got to do something now. I want to go into the military. I'm going to go in the paras. I'm thinking about the paras or the Marines. She said, don't go in the paras. Why not? Because the Marines do everything that a para can do. So you get your wing. You don't automatically, but your para wings, you can get your para wings in the Marines.
Yeah.
Right.
Why am I going in the paras then? Why don't I go in the Marines? So, long and short of it,
Join the Marines.
join the Marines.
Yeah. So this story, he told me quite a lot about, because there's more to add to this. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited.
I can tell by your voice.
But we spoke about obviously the things that you go through in the military, the Marines, in terms of how your mental health is impacted.
Yeah.
So we're going a bit serious now.
Yeah.
Because we spoke in depth, and some of what you said I could resonate with in a certain degree. But obviously yours is a lot more in depth, I'm going to say, probably the right way of saying it. Do you want to go through that? Because I think that'll be quite important how your mindset was throughout this. So call it the military or marine mindset if you want. But how do you still use that in your daily life now? Are you still
100%? Yeah. There's a really lovely marine phrase: once a marine, always a marine. So you never class yourself as a former marine, because you will always be a marine. So you sort of can't take that away. So it's a retired. You'd always say retired marine. But I'm glad, Vish, you said that, because obviously sat here, cameras on you, your mind can go in. You brought me back to something. So the first day of Royal Marines training, so you get sent to CTC, Commando Training Centre in Devon. Train takes you there, you get off the platform, and you are greeted by your training team, some of your training team. So nearly everybody on that train is going through training, nearly everybody. So we all come off the platform, we've met by our drill instructor, he's got everybody's name, and there's another one of the training team there. And the other one of the training team said to me, "Get back on the train, nigger."
Wow, okay. Welcome to the world,
Now, I'm a London boy. I had quite a few fights. I'm not saying I was the hardest, and I certainly wasn't the weakest, but I could look after myself. At that point, had that not been me wanting to go to this life-changing thing, there would have been a fight. I'm not saying who would have won, that's immaterial, but that would have been, you're just not saying that. At that point, I had to zip my lip and take it. The beauty of it is, or was, that I wasn't the only one through training that got something. What they were looking for is something to make you snap, something to make you...
Something's going to push your buttons and make
push your buttons, or really bring you down. What we were told, which kind of... It threw me essentially, because we were told your first 2 weeks of training, you get left alone. Because you're learning. You can make those mistakes now. No one's going to shout at you. No one's going to bully you. No one's going to do anything that they might do in the military. But those 2 weeks, for me, literally, day one, I haven't done anything. I've just stepped off the train.
You just arrived.
And that's what I've been greeted with. Now, I said other people get it. So someone would have got it for being Scottish. Someone would have got it for being redhead. Freckles, acne. Didn't matter. Everybody got something. But to me, that was that little bit too... And it wasn't...
there's that line, and it's...
Wasn't needed. So the second part to this... On the same day, thankfully it turned out okay. Our troop sergeant was an American Marine who had passed, so they have different things that other people can come to. So all arms commander, they call it. But from other regiments, you can come and get your green lid. So I had a Southern USMC American sergeant, and I've just been told to get back on the train, nigger. So I'm now thinking,
now what?
Fucking
this is the start.
This is the start, and I'm expecting all sorts of things now to be happening to me in training. Lo and behold, troop sergeant, about week 7, takes me aside and said, "Like you to know." When he first said this bit, I knew time was over, but things can change. He said, either my father or my grandfather was the Grand Wizard of certain. So that's the head of the KKK.
Wow.
Right. Are you going to drown me? Am I going to be?
Yeah.
He said, however, I'm not like that. And my sister married one of my best friends in the Corps, who was a black guy. So don't you worry. Carry on doing what you're doing. You're going to get left alone. Holy
shit.
That you would not expect, especially after that sentence. Fuck!
Like I say,
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that bit.
Yeah. Shit. So then you've got Marines training, and Marines training is hard, and it's supposed to be hard. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of films out there, plenty of documentaries, etc. But there's a number of things. For me, firstly, I'm a sprinter.
Yeah.
Marines training is basically endurance. So now I've had to totally become a totally different athlete as such. I also hate the cold. We started training in November.
In the wet stuff?
Yeah. In the wet, cold, I hated it. Now, I say I hated it, but I loved it because it was a brotherhood. Everyone comes together. And even in the one thing I always look back at are the photos that we took during training. As hard as it was, every time we managed for a second to put a smile on our faces.
Yeah.
So no matter how bad things were, we still found...
Yeah.
Someone take a photo, we smile. Now
get back on with
get
it.
Back on it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's how the hell would you smile? I'd be crying like, every single step. Every single step. I know he did it.
One of the things, everybody who's there with you, that kind of helps.
I guess that does.
Get each other through.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers, and you're also looking, that guy over there, he's not as fit as me.
Yeah.
But he's still doing it.
Yeah. And that's the drive.
If he's still doing it, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So you have all of that. But yes, there's that brotherhood, there's that camaraderie. You have a big thing in the Marines about having your oppo, so your opposite number, looking after you.
Yeah.
So that works it should always work in a good way, because if you're having an inspection, you and I are working together, so you look at me, have I got everything the way it should be?
Yeah. Check
and
each
I'm
other
looking
off.
at you, checking each other off.
Yeah.
So you're always having that sort of thing.
I guess that's a nice thing about being in the Marines or the military. You've always got that.
You've got that.
Yeah.
So it's a brotherhood. And sadly, last week, one of my good friends passed away. So that was difficult.
Tough.
So I got in touch with a couple of my other friends, went out for a drink with one, and on the phone for about an hour to another, just to kind of process that, because it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Going back a little bit, sorry, I apologise. Going back to the hip injury. One of the things that I found, firstly, because of finances and availability. So I'm a young guy. I'm not even 19. This hip injury, I don't know where to go. There weren't that many physios to go to, and whatever physios were around were expensive for a teenager who didn't have a job that paid so well. So I always said back then, I want to pay back at some time in my future to that young Egan who didn't have somebody to help him.
Yeah.
I want to be that person. If it's not me, I want to train somebody to be me.
Yeah.
So then going forward a bit, so we're going past the Marines, but a few bits in the Marines. So while I'm in the Marines, one of the things I did, I worked on getting the qualification to work with the boxing team.
Okay.
So we got a qualification to become a boxing coach. This is where it all starts, kind of the spaghetti junction of where I am now sort of starts unfolding a little bit, makes a little bit more sense. Got a qualification to be a boxing coach. Our boxing coach said one of the good things to have to be a boxing coach is massage. Okay. Makes sense.
Didn't expect that.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. What do? Go and get a massage coach. Yeah. Massage qualification. Marines are paying for all of this. Yeah. So this, again, one of the good things about the military, they pay for things. Doing the massage course, it becomes obvious again. One of the good things to have to be a boxing coach is to be able to train the guys, not necessarily boxing skills, because we've already got that, how to train them properly to exercise properly. I'm going to go
get a PT course.
I'm going to go and do. So I then become back then it was a bodybuilding coach, but not as in bodybuilding, but just how to train people properly to do a bicep curl, how to do a squat properly, all of those things. So now I'm building up bit by bit this portfolio of different skills that I've had. One of the others that I had that has no connection, but it's sort of connected along the way further on, sign language.
Okay.
So I had sign language, boxing, and just taking everything now that little bit further. So back in the day, it was big to do core training. So working with, seen in the gyms, the big stability balls.
Yeah.
So become a stability ball coach. All to the stage of, I remember I did a couple of workshops, lectures, in which, in order to get the people's attention, I stood on the stability ball.
Nice.
Yeah.
You told me this. I remember this. Yeah.
You get people's attention for that. You may not be the best in what you're going to say,
but they're focused on
it. Now,
yeah.
well, that guy's standing on a stability ball. It's actually a stupid thing to do.
I don't think I can do more than 2 seconds. Right?
It's actually a stupid thing to do. Because the ball could burst. If that ball bursts while that's you falling, breaking your leg.
Yeah.
You know, there's the stupidity to it, but this is now, we're in the 90s, late 90s, in which a new type of training and exercise equipment, and actually for the first time, there being people who are now called personal trainers.
Yeah.
Never used to exist.
Yeah.
So again, this again starts unfolding a little bit. And in fairness, like I say, this all started back in the 80s. I can't remember every single bit that I did to take me along this line, but that bit about my injury and not being able to have that person to help with that injury fueled.
It was always there in the back.
Everything after that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And what ended up happening with exercise, when I later left the military, I was going to go either one direction or another direction, or put the two together.
Yeah.
So I was going to do something in the fitness world. I didn't know what, and this is in 1997, and the things that are open today weren't open then.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really say in 1997, I'd do what people are doing now. What I could say in 1997, though, is the other pathway I was going to do, which was bodyguarding.
Yeah.
So I ended up being a bodyguard to rich, famous, and kind of high prominent people around the world.
Yeah.
Whilst when I wasn't doing those jobs,
doing the PT
doing
side
the PT or the PT for the clients who I was bodyguarding.
So you now obviously are quite busy. So trying to get you on here wasn't easy, was it? Because you fly around the world. You fly to a particular place. So,
yes, I do.
And I really like. I want you don't know about this either.
I guess that busy work is Vish is like he's not in the country at the minute. He'll be back. Okay. Say no more.
Let's talk about that for a second now, because there's something I've taken away from everything you said, which we're going to swing back to in a second. I like listening, but I like you to talk as well. So tell us about what you do now.
So now it's a culmination of everything that I've done since the military. The bodyguard aspect is there. It's not as much as it was once upon a time, but I just can't stop being I put it this way, a sheepdog.
Okay.
corralling the people who I'm working with. So I work out in the Middle East, and I work for a royal family in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So how it works, when I first started, so I started with them in 2006. Been working with them ever since. And when I first started with them, I was basically out in the Middle East, watch on, stop on. So I'd come home for leave, or we might come to the UK for
a visit,
or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's when I'd be home, or we might go to France and I'd pop back because we're in France. But that's basically it. But since COVID, I was lucky because I changed slightly my remit with them, in which we changed it to almost doing like 2 months on, 2 months off, that sort of thing. It wasn't written in stone, but it was 1 month, it could be 6 weeks, another would be 4, another would be 2, another might be 8, that sort of thing. But COVID happened, and luckily I'd left just before everything
all the
closed
flights
down.
got shut down. Yeah.
So I'd come back to the UK. Now, the beauty of some of my skills, and again, I've got to be honest with both of you. I can't remember every single qualification I've got.
I'm getting that.
Now, there's a little bit. I'm 61, but the other part to it.
He was younger than us.
The other part to it is there are that many, and I was looking through my box of tricks, and I picked up some stuff. I forgot I had that, and I forgot I was qualified to do that. But anyway, with my people from the Middle East, because it was COVID, couldn't travel. And to be fair, I was a staunch, I needed always, if I'm going to train you, I'm going to work with you, I'm going to fix your back or anything like that, I'm going to have to be in front of you.
Yeah.
So I was dead against. I'm an old man, remember? Yeah, when you get old and crotchety, I'm not going to do Zoom, and I'm not going to do all of that. Hell yeah, I started doing Zoom.
Yeah.
And it worked. Part of the skill set I had was I am able to help, not all, but a number of injuries, not by being there in front of you. So that's connected to the neurological stuff that I do. So one of the institutes I'm part of, we work a lot with the brain. So it could be something whenever I say something is stupid, what I mean is it's so simple and crazy. If you only knew what this could do, you'd
be doing it all.
Doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So for an example, I'll only use an example. To improve people's, let's say, toe touch. Toe touch isn't important, but it's a good goalpost of flexibility. It's not the be all and end all. Yeah. And this is something I always preface. It depends. So whenever I'm asked anything, I always say it depends. Yeah. So let's say I wanted to improve your toe touch. One of the things I can do is get you doing something visual, something with your eyes. And strangely enough, you'll go from only being able to touch your knees to being able to touch your toes.
I can't touch my toes. I'm just going to put that out there. Just doing that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to be able to do it now.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, is it necessarily instant? It might not be instant to touch your toes, let's say from your knees, but you can improve the body by the speed of the nervous system. So we know the nervous system, if you put your hand on a hot plate, as an example, it doesn't take long before you... So the speed, that's your nervous system telling you, danger, pull away. You can improve many things by using the nervous system at that speed. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, will it always hold? Not necessarily. Maybe there's other reasons. Maybe you have a vertebra that's fixed or another issue.
Yeah.
Something
that's stopping you doing it.
We're never going to get you to touch your toes, but we might be able to improve it somewhat. And it's basically just getting the brain to go, oh, why was I worried about that?
That's so stupid.
Yeah. So it's the brain and the body working together going, I was scared to let you touch your toes.
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because the last time you did it, you blew your back or something like that.
Face planted.
You face planted. I ain't letting you do that again. If I can make your brain go, oh, that's all right. I can do that. And now I just did it, so I can probably do it again.
I can do it again.
Yeah, can do it again. Yeah. And just with a few, maybe, depends on what the issue is, maybe a little bit of massage, maybe a little bit of exercise, maybe some strength work. Because it's quite interesting how sometimes strength work can help flexibility to help strength work. So by finding the pathway that you need, just by doing something, so I can do that via Zoom. I don't have to be in the room to help somebody for something like that. Now, again, in fairness, I've been working with these people since 2006. So they know a lot of my things. They know a lot of so it's not trying to, if I saw someone now who's like, my back's killing me, and I say, right, let me do this thing with your eyes, they're going to go, get lost. Yeah. With my clients, they're like that. They know. Almost whatever you say, we're going to do it. Yeah. Whether it sounds stupid or we believe it. Yeah. So with doing a lot of these different things, this is where, for example, especially when it connects to mental health and getting the brain working, that's where the rope came into it, because it became this new, different thing, just a different tool. Yeah. So I also have my Indian club here.
We got scared.
We did panic when we saw that.
That's me. Why has he put round?
Today's episode best be good.
I had to bring the smaller version. There's bigger versions, heavier versions. But again, it's that almost in the health and fitness world, maybe even in mental health world, it's just tools.
Yeah,
it's just a different tool. Sometimes you use a different tool because you could be bored.
Yeah.
Sometimes you use a different tool because that tool no longer works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to try something different. With the rope flow, what I found, it was something, like I said, so many people can do it. It is quite easy to do once you get into it, but also it's a totally different tool, and it's a nice tool. It's great for a warm-up.
Yeah.
So by using all these different tools that I have, could be a magnet, could be an Indian club, could be, so I've got in here my boulder block, and literally again for mental health, all this is, I'll pass it to you. It's just a block of wood.
That you use when you
different grips, but it's also a game.
Yeah.
It's also something for grip strength, and it really gets you focused, because this one, it's set up in a certain way.
Yeah.
You start at a certain position and try to get
to work your fingers around on the same
colours.
Your
fingers round.
Yeah.
Again, look at that for mental health.
It reminds me of an extreme fidget cube.
It is a fidget.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's got the grip side. So grip is really important, especially as people getting older. Young kids, great way to get them off.
Yeah.
Because now they've got this, and especially if their friends there, I've done this in 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Dave.
Yeah.
You get
it a shot.
See how quick you can do it.
Good, because we've done a bit of bouldering with the kids. We've taken them just to do it.
Yeah.
And they start off and they can shoot up a wall using all different colour grips. And then when you introduce that next challenge of, right, we'll do it this time, but stick to the orange grips, or you stick to the blue grips.
Yeah.
And just sit and think for a second and work it out. And it is. It's I mean, I like a bit of bouldering. Not that my hand's much good for it anymore because it's knackered. But yeah, the kids love it, and I like that. I'm going to look at one of those. I like that.
And it's just, for me, again, just another tool.
Yeah.
You could be using, thank you. You could be using, we've seen them, the grippers.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Yeah.
The only thing with that, do that, same action.
Yeah. You're not using your brain.
You're not using your brain after a minute or so.
You're bored of that.
No. Whereas this, how they do it, they give you different cards.
Yeah.
And the different cards have different grades.
Yeah.
And then you change.
I was going to say, so you can change the grips on the.
You see where the holes.
Yeah.
There are different grips as well. So you start at a different way. You might be told you have to start this way or holding this way.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to touch the wood so many things. So again, there's like 30 different cards to it. So you imagine that for some people, that's 5 years of different things. And in 5 years' time, they'll come up with
something more cards or something different. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Did you expect any of it?
No.
I knew it. I knew I should bring this guy on. I've been excited to bring you on.
And in the nicest way, I know time restraints and all the rest of it. We haven't really touched the surface.
We haven't. I think you're
not really about me as such, but about the things that can be done that are out there to help people. And one of the other things I didn't mention is I also used to lecture for the Stress Management Society.
Okay.
So that was a really good thing for me to do, to explain to people about stress, coping mechanisms, just the idea of even understanding about taking that load off or supporting from underneath. Yeah. So it's not always might not be about take yourself away, which is going to be a good idea, but it could just be how can you support
what you're already dealing with,
to make you more resilient and deal with what's coming up as well.
We've said about it is developing that toolbox.
It's that toolbox,
and you might not need it now, but if you've got it, at some point in the future, you can dip into it, and then you're prepared for it.
During those workshops, one of the things we did was we would get people together and like a workshop, and you'd ask you an idea, what things could you think of to support? You might say breathing, you might say yoga, you might say bouldering. People would come out with, but you'd still be able to add something that people wouldn't think of. Yeah. For example, flotation.
Yeah.
The amount of people who go, what?
Yeah.
Flotation pods. Brilliant idea for taking stress away, mental health, recovery, all of those things. Saunas, really good for that. Again, sitting down. You're now getting rid of, obviously, the lymphatic system. Now you're getting rid of the load, helping your liver. Red light, also another one. Movement in some way. So in a sauna, you could do yoga, you could do breathing. Yeah. The essential oils in there that you could do.
It's endless almost.
It's endless, almost. And that's where, forgive me, I know we'll be talking about mental health, and we've spoken a little bit more about my past, but that idea, it's crazy how much there is for people, and sadly how little maybe people do know that's out there.
And it's like you say, it's this very simple, basic things, but people automatically think, well, I've got to spend X amount of money, I've got to go to a professional for this, that. Yeah. If you just think you can incorporate things that are in everyday life into some kind of coping mechanism or back into your toolkit and make use of it.
Do you know what I laughed at the other day? Somebody, they're different gyms now are putting in different classes. So there's breathwork classes. I heard someone the other day going, firstly, what's that? And why do I need that? If people only knew how important it is, or why don't you realize how important breathing is that's the first thing on your birth certificate or on your gravestone. Yeah. First breath, last breath. Yep. You can go without food for quite some time. You can go without water for quite some time. Hold your breath for a while. Yeah. Keep holding it. See how long that lasts. Yep. See how important it is. And the better you breathe, again, that's a coping mechanism for mental health. That's a coping mechanism for you to improve your running. Yeah. You see the guy on Sunday who
under 2
London
hours?
Marathon.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he was breathing or being out of breath.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, there's a lot of things out there that people are working on now. There's some brilliant stuff out there on breathing. But how can you break a record that was thought impossible at one stage and not being out of breath at the end of it?
Yeah.
At that speed?
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, We were talking because we were at the Cov Half Marathon last week, and there were some lads coming through there they're doing like sub 1:30 times on the half marathon. And they were stood next to us cheering, the people coming behind. I'm thinking, I'll be blown out my arse at this point. But they just stood there as if it was,
nothing.
Just a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Literally.
But you are right with the breathing aspect of things, because I'm asthmatic.
Right.
And a few years ago, when I even attempted to do a short run or walk fast or anything, my breathing was bad. It was really bad. But then going through what I did last year, which was a bit of an illness, and I'm through it now, which is great. I go to the gym more regularly. I run now, which is something I never thought I could do, but it is down to practicing breathing. And when you say to some people, you got to work in your breath, and what do you mean? You can breathe. Everyone can breathe. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's how effective you
How
are with it.
effective.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I know when I'm on the treadmill, I could barely push 50, 60 seconds before, and now I can do about 10 minutes without stopping, which is a big thing for me. I've worked up to that over the last few months, but that's huge for me. But it is down to practicing how you breathe, and even when you're doing like lifting weights, whatever, you got to breathe correctly, otherwise you can pass out.
Yeah.
I passed out a few years ago. I remember. I'll never forget that, and it was only simply doing a chest press.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't breathing.
Yeah.
And I passed out. They called an ambulance. So I'm laughing now. But at the time, it was scary.
Yeah.
But we go back. I mean, sorry, mate. We go back to my initial police training, and you dive into a situation, and everybody goes headlong into it, and then you're thinking, 30 seconds in, you're blown out your ass, everything's gone wrong. You take that first second or two, got a deep breath, compose yourself, and time almost slows down because you're in control of. If you can control
100%,
that, you can control everything else. And with my anxiety lately, my anxiety's been through the roof with different bits and pieces. I'll find myself just doing the 4-sided box with my finger and thumb, just breathing in.
What's that?
So you make an imaginary box with your hand, and you breathe in along the top, hold your breath for the next side, breathe out along the bottom side, and hold your breath again before you take another breath in.
Never
and you
do
just
that.
sit there, and honestly, mate, it works. Again, it's not going to work
There's
for everybody.
another wonderful one like that.
But yeah, it's just
Using the hand, and it's inhale, exhale.
because you're concentrating on something else. You're just
It's
shutting
wonderful.
everything out and just zoning yourself back
It's
in.
a process, isn't it?
And again, like you're saying, you walk around with this
It's
all the
attached to
time.
you.
It's attached to you, and all you are doing is something stupid. It's a schoolyard thing.
Yeah.
It's just play.
Yeah.
It's just using a bit of imagination.
Yeah.
Now, you said something earlier on about how that person you were talking to, when you were talking about breathing, they're like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't try these things are usually in denial of what's actually really going on, right? They're afraid to try new things because they might feel that they're stupid, or dumb, or might look like a dick.
Yeah.
When really, most people are probably using the same processes anyway, or just slightly different.
Yeah.
And the point I'm trying to make is not to be afraid to try these things. I mean, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
If I know it's going to better me now, I will try anything. I'm going to try rope flow as well, actually. In fact, we need to do that
well,
today.
I quite like the look of this. Yeah.
We need to do that today. So, point is, I was listening to what you were saying throughout this whole time, and I'd said I'm listening, and I was going to circle back to something. One thing I did notice about you, Egan, and I love this, is that you don't seem to ever have moments of giving up. There's consistency of wanting to learn, wanting to better yourself. What is your drive? Why are you like this? That sounds weird to say.
Why are you
but
like
why
this?
are you like this?
Few reasons. Emotional reason. One, I was told at a young age I'd never amount to anything by a family member, and I'll never forget them and I'll never forgive them for it. But I'll sort of forgive them as well, because that was a drive.
Yeah. If they hadn't said that, you wouldn't have done what you've done. Yeah.
There was the injury as well, the drive, because I that young kid, I don't know what he would have, if I'd have gone to the Olympics, I don't know, I might have ended up being homeless, destitute. I have no clue. But I remember that young kid, how much he wanted to be that person going to the Olympics and not being able to make it, and just not being able to make it because of a few genuine and fair enough reasons: money, availability, knowledge.
Yeah.
I always want to help that person who would have been like me and could go on to. I also, one of my, obviously wasn't a friend, but somebody who I thought was a friend as well. Before joining the Marines, I remember he said to me, "You won't make it."
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I fucking told you so. Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
and there is that little bit. There's also, I wasn't the brightest kid at school. I'm sure I'm like many millions of other kids whose school reports were...
Could do better.
Yeah, if you only focused, if you did. Now,
if you didn't talk.
Okay, maybe, I'm being an arsehole now, maybe if you taught better, because I remember the classes that I did do well in, they were the teachers that not necessarily made the subject fun. Yeah, let's not say it that way. Yeah. But they put it across in a certain way. It was interesting. Yeah. I liked it. I sat there. I listened to them. And I did really well in those subjects.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something in that that wasn't all me. Yeah. And, okay, maybe also I was that kid every now and then. Looking out, going, I'd rather play than
just slightly distracted.
I think every kid was like that. Really.
Come on, let's do that.
It's down to being engaged, right? And if that person's not helping you be engaged in the actual subject, then you're lost.
I'd rather be out there, even on a rainy day, playing football, playing rugby, running, doing something else other than sat here listening to you.
And I think that's still relevant now because we get it with our kids, and they're like, my daughter, she's a brain box. She just sits there and does stuff. My lad's a lad, he just wants to get involved in stuff. And you kind of think, you can't just teach all the kids the same way. You have to tailor what you're doing. I mean, we find it all the time doing what we do now. You know, you have to tailor your approach to different people to get the result. So, but I just don't get why teachers don't get that. They almost have like this is my way, you're going to learn. Well, some kids aren't going to do that. Yeah. I couldn't do that. Yeah. So there has to be that flexible element of how it's being put across.
I think it is just making sure that they're engaged in the right way. Because nowadays, there's 25, 30 kids in a class. How are you going to engage with all of them?
Well, you go back to public speaking, where you're standing on a ball. You know, like you say, it might not be the most interesting subject, but the fact that you're doing something to engage people turns people on.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. What would you say to the 19-year-old Egan now that you couldn't have said back then?
Firstly, it wasn't a failure as such. But I would say embrace failure. Embrace not succeeding. Because strangely enough, it's crazy where that failure or not succeeding can lead you to. I failed a course, a promotion course in the Marines. And whether I should or shouldn't have failed it, let's not go into that. Strangely enough, the year later, when I went back to do the course, I came top.
Yeah. It's what you learned from it.
What I learned from it, that, dust yourself off. Yeah. It's okay. I was looking at, there's a documentary just out right now about the Red Roses, the England women's rugby. And they lost at least two World Cup finals before winning the World Cup. And you could... Yeah, it's almost, I don't want to say it this way for them, that's projecting onto them. I know for me, that first course that I failed, I could have studied a bit more for it. Yeah. I thought I was too good not to fail. Yeah. And after failing it, mate, I ain't failing. Now, it wasn't my choice and I couldn't dictate that I would come top doing it again. And from what I understood, when you fail that course, when you go back to it, no one's ever come top again. Yeah. I could be wrong, but that's what I'd been told at the time. So I know what drive that gave me. Yeah. When I was looking at that documentary with those brilliant women, they didn't quite, those first two. Yeah. And that next one, there ain't no way we're going to lose this. In all of us, we're going to be 50% better in some way, shape or form, or even just that 1%. I think I spoke to you about that system. So back in when this guy took over from British Cycling, one of the things he introduced was the 1%. And the one thing that stuck out to me more than anything was he told them all to take their own pillow. Wherever you go now in the world, you bring your own pillow. Because one of the things we know, you have a bad night's sleep.
It ruins everything
doesn't it? That 1%.
Yeah.
But kind of coming back to your question, that thing that I would 100% say to that young lad, actually, fail often. In the nicest way, fail as much as you can, because you'll learn a whole lot more from that, and you'll be a better person at the end of it.
Absolutely. Because you get into that comfort zone of if you're doing everything perfectly, or you think you're doing everything perfectly, you do, well, I can't learn anything else. What else do I need to do?
What are you going to...
Yeah. We had a guest in a couple of weeks ago, Charlie, and he sailed through life, didn't he? Because everything was given to him. And that moment he failed, it hit him hard. Because that lesson hadn't been learned before. And I think you are right, absolutely right. I mean, I've failed in business a couple of times, but it's actually helped me get better and better and better. Because you learn a lot more when you're in that shit. Because you think, okay, right. And you also become a lot more resilient.
Yes.
Because the shit can go wrong and you can work your way through it. You're okay.
Yeah.
It's when shit goes wrong and you can't make your way back out. That's when you know you're seriously wrong.
100%. So, I don't want to be flippant in saying this, fail often. Of course, don't fail so much that it
becomes a point you don't do anything anymore.
I don't do it on purpose.
And something else, you do something else because of the failure. But you do learn so much more, and that understanding afterwards. Yeah, okay, I failed that. It didn't ruin my life. Yeah. And actually looking back, dare I say it, I'm glad I didn't go to the Olympics.
Because you don't know where your path's going from.
Yeah. The path that I'm on right now,
it's a good one.
I couldn't have jumped to that.
It's a good one. Well, that was good, wasn't it?
Man, I enjoyed that.
So I've been so excited to get you on for flipping ages, man. It's just not happened, but now it has, and I feel at ease.
Yes.
I feel at ease.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah. No, well done to him. Mate. Well done to him.
I hope you have me back.
100%. There's definitely a part 2 to this story we need to get you back in for. So when you're not off, wherever you are in the world, then we'll get you back in. But no, it's been
a pleasure.
Really watch this space. I think, we definitely got to get you back. There's no thinking about it. We definitely have to. It's got to be done. But we have a little segment. He's going to introduce this segment. This is the fun thing.
Things get you down. Things wind you up. We call it love spuds. So if something's pissed you off or gripped your gears this week, we don't want to know about it. Conversely, if something's gone really well this week, it's called a love plum.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to start? Have you got one?
Have I got a love spud? I think I have several love spuds.
I've got
a love plum.
Don't be greedy.
I got plum. I got plum. It was my birthday this weekend, as I mentioned already.
No cake.
I had the cake. That's part of the big plum. No, I tell you what, it was having a bit of time away from home is something I don't do very often. But whilst I was away, it made me appreciate my parents a lot more. I know I was talking about my parents because they are a huge part of my life. They're everything to me. And whilst I was away, I missed them a hell of a lot. And it was nice to see their face on things like FaceTime now, which we can do, coming back to seeing them and getting that hug off mum and dad, and that feel of love and warmth and just that homeliness was everything. In my entire life could have nothing. As long as I got that, I'd be completely happy every single day. And that's what I got, and I'm blessed with that. But with it being a birthday, I had the entire family over, and having them over, I love it. Especially the kids. Piss me off, but I can give them back, right? But I can say my love plum was having a really amazing birthday. And I couldn't have asked for a better one. I'm 44, but I feel 43. No, I feel a lot younger because I feel a lot younger because I've got everything I want around me. My health is on peak. I feel great, so I've got nothing to grumble about. Oh, I want to be a millionaire, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my love plum, and I also want to say happy birthday to you in advance.
Because when this comes out, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah. So happy birthday to you, and
Thanks,
thank
man.
you for being like the best partner in crime on this thing as well. Because
cheers,
it's been
dude.
absolutely epic with you.
We've had a good run this last couple of months, haven't we?
Yeah,
we'll
now
keep
this
going.
This is
It's
not
the
us
end.
actually saying this is over, by the way, just so you know.
That did sound a bit final. Yeah.
yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. But yeah, no, happy birthday to you, and I hope
Thanks,
hope it's a good one.
Thank you.
Bring me some cake, bitch.
I won't be here, mate, so it'll
It
be
doesn't
stale
matter.
by the time
Send
I
it
get
to me.
back.
That's fine. You can send it to me. What about you? Who's to go next?
Egan, go.
I think you should.
Yeah, well, kind of connects a love spud to a love plum.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, I like
I like this.
So I'd mentioned earlier that a good friend of mine had passed away last week. So Marine battled cancer, did really well. Last week, I think it was something like Tuesday, we were told he's got about between 2 weeks to 6 months to live. Thursday,
That's
Gone.
he's gone. So hat off to him. We'll see you on the other side, as we always say. But the love plum to this, it will bring the group together. So for the funeral, it's a sad reason, but when we get together, there'll be a tear. But after that tear, there'll be a lot of laughs, a lot of humour, a lot of reminiscing, a lot of banter, and just the ability for how we do, especially in the forces, to get together afterwards and just, remember hard.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Really hard how it was.
That's nice.
That's a good one.
So
I like that. Yeah. Mine's completely
I already
my
know.
fault.
I already know where this is going.
travel companies.
Wankers,
This is a spud, man. So we booked to go away on holiday. We were going to Greece for a week.
Yeah.
All booked, all sorted. Fortnight ago, the wife and I were on a night away without the kids.
Oh, yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. That was nice. That was a definite plum. We get a phone call from said travel company. There are some building works going on at the hotel that you're going to be staying at. They're building a new kids' play area. There's going to be some disruption to your holiday. Oh, fuck, I don't want that. Don't want to build inside when you're on holiday. Not a problem. There are some alternatives we can put you on. There's the 3 alternatives. Can you let us know what you want? So we looked through them on the emails. As we're driving back in the car, she's on the phone going through them. Phoned up. Yeah, we like that one. No, we can't go there. Sorry, that's already fully booked. Okay. Option 2, this one. Yeah, that's fully booked as well. And the third one was a shit place. Well, we don't want to go to that. Yeah. Right, okay. Go away, find a holiday. We'll give you 10% off that price to book because it's out of our control. Not a problem. Go back to them. This is the one we found. Yeah, that's full as well.
No, mother.
We're 2 weeks out from going on holiday. I'm like, I need to go away. So we end up changing back to Cyprus, to a place that we've been to before. So we know it well. We're kind of pissed off because we want to go somewhere different. However, we're going back to somewhere we know. Ring them up and they're like, yeah, okay, you now have to pay us £500. Hold the phone. This is not our doing. This is, yes, but because you couldn't use one of the ones that we gave you, you have to pay the extra. We couldn't use it because you'd already booked them before you sent us the holiday. It transpires that when we booked the deal, the 10% they were offering superseded the 20% off deal that they'd given us when we booked it in January. So we were out of pocket. We're out of pocket for the hotel. We're staying out at Gatwick because we had to move dates. And because we're now going on a Saturday rather than a Friday, the price has gone up. So yeah, fuck TUI massively.
Shit.
Yeah, that's, but conversely, I'm going on holiday.
So
yeah,
spud to
I'll
plum.
take it.
Yeah. So, okay, it's not a bad
No,
ending.
it's just stressful.
It is.
Stressful. Yeah.
It is, but you can obviously enjoy the time you're away, and hopefully
when you're listening to this, mate, on Friday,
Yeah, piss
I'll be getting ready to go on a plane. So yeah,
it's on Thursday.
yes, but you can listen to it again on Friday as I'm getting on a plane.
You just want me to listen to it when you're getting on a
I'll text you.
Yeah,
Put it on now, 'cause I'm getting on a plane.
I'll cry while I'm listening to the episode. But no, great episode.
Awesome
Amazing
episode.
Thank you so much, Egan, for coming. It's been an
pleasure.
absolute
Mate, I really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
It's been nice because we've not had to talk so much.
We do like it when
So
guests
you're
come
saying
in.
I spoke too much?
No, we like it because we don't have to think so much. We just let you do the talking.
That's a great thing. Yeah, it helps. It eases the pain for us, doesn't it? A bit?
Yes.
And we don't have to think.
Yeah,
It's nice.
especially when we brace ourselves for another double recording this week.
Yeah, we have. But we have a particular sign off. I don't know if you know about this. Dan?
So I'm doing all the
You're the man who
intros,
introduced
yeah.
this. Yeah.
So we get monitored on certain words that we use throughout the course of the podcast. One of those being the C-bomb that not many people like to listen. So we had to think of a way of incorporating it, because if I can't start the day by shouting it at somebody while I'm on a push bike, I'm having a bad day. Just one of those.
Yeah.
So we invented this really ingenious sign-off, and it is simply, see you
next
Thursday.
That's it. That's it. And that's the sign-off. Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
That's it. End of the episode. Great. Thank you so much again. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you will be back.
Yes. We're definitely part 2 for this.